Hey y'all, welcome into Blast Fet. What a weekend for the Oklahoma Sooners in college softball. As a fan, we experienced everything: happiness, anger, sadness, shock, disbelief. Whatever emotion you want to come up with, OU fans, we felt all of it. So let's get this thing started. Oklahoma went into the Mariner Classic with an 8-1 record on the season. Only loss, of course, coming to, at the time, number 15, Arizona. Since then, we've seen a lot of improvement from this team. So coming into this tournament, we felt really high on Oklahoma. So let's get right into this crazy weekend for the Oklahoma Sooners and Patty Gasso. So coming into this tournament, OU came in number 4 in the country, 8-1 record. Only loss being to number 15, Arizona. It was a crazy start, y'all, for Oklahoma. Game was scheduled at 7:30 p.m., so it was already going to be a late start for Oklahoma. We had delays, and OU didn't start their first game until 8:35. Now, y'all, we had to play 2 games on this night. So first game not getting started to 8:35, so you knew it was going to be a long, long night for Oklahoma. And that's exactly what it was, as OU did not finish up the first night until about 1:30 in the morning, Friday morning, Central Time. So very, very eventful night for Oklahoma, day 1 here in the Mariner Classic. So first opponent for Oklahoma is Cal State Fullerton. Decent team, but coming in, it was a team that OU should be able to handle and get ready for the next one. So Alyssa Parker, the freshman, she was the starter. She's been kind of up and down so far here early in the season. She came in, only won a few innings, gave up 3 runs. Patty decides to go with the ace, Audrey Lowry. Now down 3-1. This is kind of what she walked into. She threw okay, considering the situation. Our defense was rough. Our bats came out cold. We were very inconsistent. Just a rough start for Oklahoma. So Audrey comes in down 3-1. The bunt defense for Oklahoma was exposed. Cal State had a lot of speed. They put down a lot of bunts, and Oklahoma really, really struggled. So quickly we learned that the bunt defense is something that Patty Gasso is going to have to work on with these ladies. That's how Cal State got majority of their runs. So getting late into the game, Cal State's up 4-1. So we knew Oklahoma was going to be in a battle. Would they start this weekend with a loss, or were they going to be able to find some Sooner magic and come through and get the win? Well, down 4-1, Kendall Wells comes in the 4th inning, hits a 2-run bomb to make it 4-3. Bella Ermeling follows it up with a solo shot. So after being down majority of the game, OU finds a way to come back and tie this game late. And so we get to the 7th inning. Oklahoma is the home team. Audrey Lowry gives up a few hits, and Cal State takes the lead 5-4. So going to the bottom of the 7th, Oklahoma now, we're down 5-4. Are we going to see Sooner magic? In my live stream, we were all worried, just emotion, just everything going crazy. So we get to the 7th inning. We got to get one to extend this to the 8th. We get the first 2 outs. Now, I told you earlier that Alyssa Parker started this game as a pitcher. Did not have a good day at the circle, but man, did she ever make up for it. In the bottom of the 7th, with Oklahoma down to their last out, Alyssa Parker, pitcher / athlete, hits a home run over center field. We all go crazy. She's going around first to second, jumping up and down. It was insane. So Sooner magic there in the 7th inning. We tie the game. We go to extras. Very exciting there in the 8th inning. Cal State is threatening. We have some great defensive plays. We get to the bottom of the 8th. We get a couple hits. And Gabby Garcia comes up, bases are loaded. gets a long single, bounces off left field wall, and OU gets the walk-off win, 6-5 to start the Mary Nutter Classic there in California. Like I said, this was a very long first night for Oklahoma. So after all that was done, all that excitement, the comeback, emotions are running high. Now we have to wait about 30, 40 minutes. So when I say it was a late night, y'all, it was a very late night. Second game was supposed to start around roughly 10 p.m. Central Time. It did not get started until almost 11:45 p.m. Central Time. And game didn't finish up till about 1:30 in the morning. All right, so after that crazy, eventful, stressful, blood pressure, like we all needed to check our blood pressure that first game, OU found a way. They got it done against Cal State Fullerton. But now we move forward to San Diego State. Now, San Diego State came in with an 8-2 record at the time. They were solid. They're going to be a postseason team. So what were we going to see? As a Center fan, and with everybody that was there with me on the live stream, we really had no idea. Were we going to see the OU that we seen against Arizona, or were we going to see a repeat of what we just saw against Cal State Fullerton? Who knows? This OU team has been very up and down, so nobody knew really what to expect. Well, I can tell you going into the game, the result ended up being a 10-2 run rule over San Diego State. It was dominant from the get-go. I felt like Patty Gasso, JT, the coaching staff, they all got together. The OU players knew that they did not play to their potential, that they're better than that. So whatever it was that was going on with them in the first game, they got the memo. They got the wake-up call, and they dominated, y'all. Complete dominance from start to finish. So the starter for game 2 against San Diego State was Molly Wachengo. Now, she's had her ups and downs. She's a transfer. She's a sophomore from Ole Miss, but she was going to be the starter for Oklahoma. Well, OU starts off hot. Kendall Wells gets a 2-run bomb. The freshman phenom, the catcher, her bat has just been ridiculous. She's one of the best hitters in the country. But she gets everything started with a 2-run bomb there in the first inning for Oklahoma. Bella Everling comes in the second inning, hits another solo shot to keep the offense going. We get to the third inning, and this is really where Oklahoma opens things up. They put up a 5-spot there in the third. We get a big lead. And the third inning wasn't home runs. It was just singles, doubles, pass the bat, keep it moving. So OU's been able to score in many different ways. Whatever they got to do, they've been getting it done offensively. I mean, Oklahoma has one of the best offenses in the country. Just they're not consistent. So something that they got to work on. So we get to the fifth inning. It's it's in run rule territory, and Sid Barker finishes off that game with a home run, and OU gets the win 10-2 against San Diego State. Molly Wachengo finishes that whole game, which is great for the pitching staff. So after the first night at the Mary Nutter, we see an insane, crazy first game, had to come back from an inferior team. It took Sooner Magic. Who would have thought that we would have said in that first game, the starting pitcher for Oklahoma, who had a rough day in the circle, would end up being the hero to get us into extra innings, to put us in that position to win the game. So just a crazy, crazy night, a long night. Like I said, first pitch wasn't until 8:30, 8:35. There were delays. We didn't get done with the game until about 1:30 in the morning. So with that, we knew the next game was going to be against Duke. Duke was going to be our hardest opponent on paper. Their ranking, their record, we know what they're made of. They're always a postseason team. We seem to see Duke a lot in the postseason. So we knew this was going to be our toughest matchup of the weekend. So Oklahoma starts out, 2-0. Not the way we expected to get to 2-0, but hey, we'll take it. Sometimes wins are very ugly, but a win's a win. So we get to the Duke game. Kendall Wells gets a 2-run shot in the first, so we get up quickly. Kendall Wells, it seems like she hits home runs every game. She's only a true freshman. OU now has played 15 games, and I want to say on the season she already has 12 or 13 home runs, just an insane start. So again, Kendall Wells gets the offense going for Oklahoma. And just a dominant win over Duke. Duke came in confident, but from the get-go, Oklahoma dominates. They get the run rule win, 11-1. Wasn't really much of a game ever. The OU offense got to the Duke pitchers quick. There were a lot of pitching changes for Duke, so just complete dominance against the Duke Blue Devils for Oklahoma. So the starter for Oklahoma against the Duke Blue Devils was Audrey Lowry. Now, they've used her a lot. So how is she going to look coming out against a top 15 team? She looked great, y'all. She threw 4 innings. By the time that they pulled her, OU was up big. OU got the big run rule win over Duke, 11-1. So there wasn't no stress, really. But just to give her a rest with that big lead, they bring in Molly Wachenio. She looks great. She does her job in relief. The offense comes alive in the 6th inning. We put up 5. And, of course, Nellie Mack gets the walk-off grand slam in the 6th to end that game over Duke and get another run rule victory, 11-1. So after the first couple of days, at that point, we had seen it all. We thought going in to that Marinetta tournament, did we expect Oklahoma to go undefeated? I don't know. I thought they might drop 1. Did I think it could have been possibly to Duke? Yeah, that was our toughest opponent. They dominate Duke. We dominate San Diego State. Against Cal State Fullerton, we struggled. But was that going to be the wake-up call that Oklahoma needed to finish out the rest of the weekend successful? So we move into Saturday. Now, Saturday, we play a couple games, as OU played 6 games here in 4 days. So going into Saturday, our first game was going to be against Patty's alma mater, Long Beach State. Now, they come in with a 7-4 record. They're not very good. But I've been trying to do some score predictions on each live stream for the games, and I've been horrible at that. But we all kind of thought, okay, this is going to be a 10-0 run roll, 12-0 run roll. Some of us thought, could it get 15-20? We thought it was going to be a complete dominant blowout by Oklahoma, and boy, were we wrong. We were really, really wrong. During this, so Sydney Burzon, the starter, she was the starter, the transfer from LSU. She also has been very up and down. So what were we going to see? Coming into the game against Long Beach State, we thought, okay, at that point, we hadn't seen Katie yet, and we hadn't seen Sydney Burzon. They both have been struggling, but against these opponents here on Saturday, OU should be fine. Wasn't the case at all. So Sydney comes in. She does okay at the start. Long Beach State came out ready to go, focused. Oklahoma ends up losing this game, y'all, 6-4. They looked horrible on every part of the game. Pitching was not good. Offense was horrible. A lot of defensive miscues. Just complete frustration, shock, all the emotions. But versus that first game on Thursday against Cal State Fullerton, this was way, way worse. Nobody saw this coming. Oklahoma was down majority of the game. Going into the 7th inning, OU's down 6-3. We get a solo shot to make it 6-4, and we get a few more hits. So Oklahoma actually has a chance with a winning run at home plate. We're not able to come through on this one. There is no Sooner magic against Long Beach State. OU ends up losing. But by far, y'all, it's not even close on the season. That game against Long Beach State was the worst played game I've seen OU play in a long, long time. Every phase looked horrible. Pitching, defense, hitting, and something that OU struggled with last year that I've seen a lot this year too is leaving way too many runners on base and not getting them in. OU had a ton of opportunities to take the lead, get a big lead against Long Beach State, and get another win. They couldn't do it. Whenever you leave 10 runners on base, I don't care who your opponent is, it's probably not going to be the outcome that you're looking for. And that was a case for Patty Gasso and all of us fans, as we were very emotional in that game. My chat was pretty crazy. Just a crazy start to Saturday. So Oklahoma ends up losing that game. Audrey comes in. She came in relief, and she got her first loss of the season. That loss against Long Beach State was very shocking, but very humbling. Would OU be able to bounce back? Would they be able to learn from that, grow from it, mature? Hit the reset button as we got into the second game of the day against Cal. So coming into the Cal game, at this point, OU's been very up and down, all over the place. One game, the pitching's good. The next game, the pitching's bad. Offense is great. Offense is cold. Just very inconsistent. So at this point, we have no idea what to expect. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. We have no idea really what we're going to see from this Oklahoma team. So coming into it, Cal is 5-8. Of course, they're in the ACC. How is OU going to look after that shocking upset loss to Long Beach State? So OU had a slow start. They found themselves down 4-2. And so as an OU fan, we're thinking, what in the world is going on? Is this going to be just a really bad weekend for Oklahoma? Is like what's going on? But just when we start to doubt Oklahoma, we start to doubt Patty Gasso and his coaching staff. When things are not looking good, Oklahoma down 4-2 in the 6th inning. Y'all, they put up a 5-spot. Offense comes alive. There's some errors by Cal, but we get some timely hits. We get the runs across. We're not leaving all these runners on base in the 6th inning. So somehow, some way, OU gets a 5-spot there in the 6th. We go up 7-4 against Cal. And so can we finish this off? So we get to the bottom of the 7th. Cal gets a solo shot. So very, very quickly, all of us are, oh no, here it comes. Can we hang on to this game? But when it's all said and done, we find a way, we get it done. It was an eventful 7th inning. There was a lot going on with the coach. He didn't agree with one of the calls. He gets tossed. He takes his sweet time getting off the field. We're all yelling, at him on the screen. Get out of here. You're embarrassing yourself. Just a crazy game there in the 7th inning. But OU finds a way to beat Cal. So after that victory against Cal, at this point, Oklahoma is now 4-1 on the weekend and 12-2 on the season. They had been very up and down, hot, cold. So what were we going to see against Washington? A top 25 team. But all the teams have had to play 5-6 games, so everybody's tired. So what were we going to see out of the Oklahoma Sooners? I predicted OU to win 6-1. I thought it would be a close game all the way through. Boy, was I wrong, and I'm glad I was. OU puts up 6 runs in the 1st inning alone. We beat Washington 15-2, y'all. 15-2. Molly Wachengo is a starter. She pitches the whole game. She looks great, but a little bit on her. So OU puts up a 6-spot there in the 1st inning. OU fans were feeling great. Oh, this is what we expected to see. This is going to be a dominant win. Could we run roll Washington? Which we end up doing, but we get to the bottom of the 1st. So it's 6-0 Oklahoma. In Molly's first 3 pitches, y'all, Washington hits 2 solo home runs. So all of a sudden we go from being, oh, hey, we're up 6-0. Could this be a big blowout win? Quickly, we have a big change of emotion. We're like, uh-oh, is this going to be, are we going to fall apart? What's going to happen? But not the case. After giving up those 2 quick home runs there in the 1st, she looks great the rest of the way through. OU hit 7 bombs. OU now as a team for the season, I think has hit 56 home runs. Just an insane start offensively. But today against Washington, OU played like a team that we know that they can be and what we expect to see, especially as we get into SEC and postseason play. Boy, did this Oklahoma softball team let the college softball world know what you saw yesterday and earlier in this tournament. That's not who we are, and that's not who we're going to be moving forward. OU dominates Washington. It's funny. The tougher opponents that we thought OU might lose to or struggle with, they completely dominate them, and they run roll all three of them. 11-1, 15-2, and 10-2. And then the games that we think OU is going to get a big, huge victory, OU seems to struggle. So this is something that Oklahoma is going to have to work on. Don't play down to your competition. Get better with the pitching. A lot of issues with the pitching overall, but it's still young, y'all, so we're going to get this fixed. And of course, with Jen Rocha not being there, it's one thing for her to be able to communicate with the team, watch from home as she's recovering from some health issues, versus her actually being there in the dugout. So prayers to her and her family. Hopefully we see her back with Oklahoma soon. But OU let the softball world know today, don't start assuming that OU is going to have a down year, because they are not. When everything is all said and done, the team you saw today is what I think we're going to see come postseason, and we're going to be back in Oklahoma City. And I do believe that Patty Gasso and the Oklahoma Sooners are going to get their 9th title. I'm very, very excited of what I've seen today. I like how they finished the tournament. There was a lot of struggles, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things that did not go right for Oklahoma. But I loved how they finished out this tournament. So moving forward, Oklahoma, after starting off a 15-game road trip, due to weather, it's that time of year, they finally get to come home this Thursday, get to play in front of their home crowd there at Love's Field, as they will see Alabama State and Sam Houston State this weekend. So excited to get to that, see what the Sooners do. But y'all let me know in the comments below, what were your thoughts on this weekend? Are you worried? Do you think this is going to be a down year for Oklahoma, or are we going to be right back where we want to be? You guys let me know your thoughts in your comments on this. And something else we talked about, with that loss to Long Beach State. Now that's a horrible loss. That's not going to look good on our resume. OU came in number 4. How far will OU drop? Are we going to still be in the top 10, top 8? Are we going to be 12 or 13? You guys let me know in the comments also. So with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to say thank you to all the viewers. This channel has grown tremendously. The goals that I had set for this channel, you guys have blown it out of the water. We've already hit our end of season goal, and we're moving forward. So thank you so much to everybody that tuned in with us. It was just an amazing time getting to meet all of you other Sooner fans across the world. That was incredible. We've met Sooner fans now from 39 different states and 8 different countries. So if you're a fan of OU softball, if you're a fan of OU football, I like doing content in the fall with that. Or if you're a military veteran, as you can see over here behind me, I'm an Army vet, and I like to do some content giving love and appreciation to our military troops, our veterans, and our active duty. So if any of this interests you, come check me out. It's a great place here. It's a great family. Sooner Nation is the best fan base by far. I don't care what anybody says. And with all that being said, thank you, and God bless, and you guys have a wonderful evening.